Liked by the sound of violence.
There's so many things, Josh, I don't talk about, but I know them all. I know where all the skeletons are. And I don't attack anyone, but there's reasons why Dana wants to have this story put forward. And I don't blame him. And I'm not saying he's a bad person for doing it. It's just that a lot of it's false. And it's a story that they came up with. It's his side that he wants to perpetuate. And the MMA media continues to perpetuate that because Dana has been able to control the MMA media. He did a fantastic job of scaring the hell out of him years ago. And he got rid of SureDog, made sure no SureDog reporters could be at a UFC. And all of these guys started sucking up to him and you know what? And anything he would say, that was gospel. They don't look into it. They don't check it out. They just take it for fact.
We're just waiting on Chris to get back, and then we're going to start. Liked by the sound of violence. by the sound of violence.
I want to point something out. Just recently, in fact, about a week and a half ago now, we lost an MMA fighter from a fight. Herb Dean was the referee of that fight. And I will tell you, Herb did nothing wrong in that fight at all. I don't care who would have been refereeing that fight. That kid had to come into that fight with some type of injury, been knocked out. Something happened in training. I don't know what it was, but he ended up dying of a subdural hematoma, and he took not even 1/8 of the damage that Thomas Gifford took in this fight with Mike Davis. Not even 1/8. And I probably even less than that.
All right, everyone, we're back.
Yeah, we are. Chris's fucking video is a different size again.
Yeah, so try to see me. I guess I'm.
No,
I'm
you're
pretty much.
You're manageable. You're just weirdly sized.
Okay.
Well, so true to life.
I was gonna ask if I'm basically John Cena. That you can't see me, but.
No, you're on your way to John Cena.
Okay, checks out. Anyways, we're back to preview UFC on ESPN. I don't know where we're at, but it's UFC Boston.
UFC on ESPN 6, I believe.
Yes, +6. Getting up there. Yeah. UFC Boston, Weidman versus Reyes. I don't know what the... Yeah, I'm all over the place already. Anyways, let's get into this.
The
first fight of
Boston car. Oh, wait, first, before we do that, oh, shit, I need to pull this up anyway. I should have done this before we started. It's alright. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hey, nope, your video's still fucking tiny. So, I should mention, last week, we went... Oh, God, I didn't count this ahead of time, so I'm going to have to count this live. How many fights were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's, first off, that's too many fucking fights. But I went 10-4 last week. 3, 4, 5, 6. You went 7-7. So,
Okay.
not terrible. Some of those were there was a couple decent close decisions on that card as well. So, like the Pena decision, I'm not mad at that. That shit was super close. The GM3 decision was pretty close. So, overall, I think we did pretty good. I feel like we nailed the breakdown on Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Michelle Waterson with it coming down to leg kicks in the clinch. That fucking was 100% how that shit went. So, coming off a decent track record, but we will see how this card goes. I feel like this is going to be a lot of not real back and forth fights. I feel like it's going to be one-way traffic in a lot of these, but I'm not necessarily positive which way it's going to be on some of them. So, could be interesting.
All right. Anyways.
So,
yeah, let's get into this first event of the evening. Heavyweight bout between Daniel Daddy Longlegs Spitz going up against Tanner the Bulldozer Bozer.
yeah.
I don't. It's a heavyweight fight. Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Yep. No, actually, you think so?
I have no fucking clue. If I'm honest, I don't know how this.
I think this is gonna be a very, very drawn out decision.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with the guy who has a belt in another organization, and this is UFC debut.
Bozer?
Yeah, he's gonna bulldoze his way to a fucking decision.
Yeah, I actually have Bozer by decision too, mostly because I don't have a lot of faith in Daniel Spitz. He's gonna have a crazy reach advantage in this, I would assume. I haven't looked at it, but I would assume his reach is like a fuckload more than the other dudes. What does this say? 82-inch reach versus 75.5-inch reach. So more than half a foot.
Yeah.
And He's only, I guess he's 5 inches taller. I just think Daniel Spitz is 100% going to circle with his back on the cage most of the fight. Tanner Boser is 100% going to walk in front of him a lot of the fight. I think probably Boser wins this off of probably like 2 rounds of cage control, or maybe 1 round of slightly more volume and 1 round of cage control. If Daniel Spitz gets to the ground, it looks way different. I just don't see that happening.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. The odds, for those curious, Boser is a -147 to a +123 favorite. So take that as you will.
Sounds about
this
right.
This next fight, it's heavyweight fight. This next fight we have is a middleweight bout between Kevin Holland and Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is all in, if his nickname says so. This is his formal UFC debut. Last time we saw him was the Contender Series earlier this year in July, or this summer, where he submitted Aaron Jeffrey via rear naked choke. Kevin Holland, last time we saw him, had a very scrappy in that he fucking broke his arm, I think, or dislocated his shoulder, and still grinded out a decision over Alessio Di Chirico.
Actually fought more technically after he broke his whole shit.
Or Di Chirico, excuse me. Yeah. Didn't he become more violent after he broke his shit?
More technical. Like, he actually had
yeah.
solid, like, striking defense after that.
I guess I'm leaning on Holland because I know he's good off his back too. He pulls guard when he needs to.
Yeah,
I guess more or less
he's
being threatened on the feet. I like him, but that's because I haven't really seen Brendan Allen. I know it's unfair. That's a disservice to him, but I didn't watch him fight on a Contender Series. What do you think?
So the problem I have with taking Brendan Allen in this fight is on the Contender Series, he basically just fell into the clinch against Aaron Jeffrey and kind of got stuck there a decent amount. And from what I remember, he had success mostly just in the clinch. Outside of that, it wasn't a lot. I mean, it was a pretty short fight anyway. But he pretty quickly got his back put on the cage and ended up catching a knee off of that, if I remember right. I think if he gets stuck on the cage against Kevin Holland, he's probably just going to get stuck on the cage against Kevin Holland. I don't know that he's going to be able to easily get off of it and then work from there. So I'm leaning Kevin Holland by decision in this one, mostly just off of experience and just being the better athlete between the two of them.
Okay. I mean, I'm going decision with Kevin Holland as well. The odds for those who care, Holland is a -156 to a +129 over Brendan Allen. Take that as you will. This next fight we have is a men's welterweight bout between Sean Brady, not Tom Brady, who's 10-0, going up against Court McGee, who I swear was in Bellator, unless I'm tripping, but
Nope.
Evidently not. Last time we saw Sean Brady, if you're a big CFFC guy, you saw him. He main evented CFFC 72,
Yep.
where he knocked out Taj Abdul Hakim last February. So that got him a date and a signing with the UFC. So he's coming off an impressive victory. I mean, Court McGee, last time we saw him, record 19-8. He lost a split decision to Diego Lima, who, in fairness, has been looking a lot better than he has in the past year.
Definitely.
I don't really know where I lean on this one. I guess I kind of want to lean towards Sean Brady, because he's probably like one of those, like, he's a prospect now, kind of being introduced in the UFC.
Yeah.
Has some knockout power.
Yeah, I think a lot of this comes down to where Court's at.
Also has some chokes in his repertoire.
Yeah,
in his arsenal.
Yeah, but good luck fucking stopping Court McGee with a choke. Has he ever been subbed? No, he's never been subbed.
Okay. This is probably going decision.
Yes. It's a Court McGee fight, so it's probably going decision.
You know what? I'll probably just kind of flip it. I think I'll go with McGee via decision. It'll kind of be like a gnarly introduction to the new guy.
That I could definitely see that. Court, especially in his last fight, landed some really fucking hard calf kicks against Douglas Lima.
Or Diego. But yeah.
Lima. God damn it! Every time I was so.
It's the
confident
same thing
I
with
had
Nick
it
and
that
Nate
time.
Diaz. So
No, I
like,
don't fuck them up. But to be fair, they're I was gonna say their names don't start with the same letter, but they literally do. So I don't know. I got no excuse. They look too similar.
just to start calling him like Nathan Diaz, just so like it's easier to. But then again, I don't really get them confused.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No. I gotta figure. The problem is I have an existential crisis every time I try and say one of them, and then I always pick the wrong one.
Or someone's like, yeah, Nicholas Diaz and Nathan Diaz. Don't get it confused.
Right.
It's
So
like, who?
right. So I'm gonna take Sean Brady in this one. He's had a pretty strong. He's had a pretty strong couple fights. Well, he got the win over Colton Smith, which in retrospect looks pretty good. Colton Smith has really only lost to high level dudes. I mean, it's literally just Sean Brady and then Robert Whittaker, Michael Chiesa, and Carlos Diego Ferreira, which that's a goddamn strong list of fighters. And I'm worried that Court McGee's going to get stuck on bottom in this fight, which in the old days, I would have thought Court McGee would have stuffed enough in the takedowns and made it ugly enough in the clinch and just kind of dragged it into deep waters and probably took the third round. He may still take the third round, but I'm not as confident that he's going to be able to stay on his feet or at least not get just stuck in exchanges where he keeps getting taken down. So I'm going to lean... Yeah, I'm going to lean Brady by decision, but not without much confidence. I think this is going to be a close decision either way. I just think Brady's probably going to be able to make it ugly on the cage and get enough takedowns to win 2 of the rounds.
Okay. Could see that. I guess I'll just stick with McGee via decision.
It's like I said, it could easily go that way. I don't know what to make of Court McGee at this point.
The odds are Sean Brady is a minus 196 favorite to a plus 160 of Court McGee.
I get it, but it seems a little wide.
This next fight is interesting. We have Randy Zohan Costa, record of 4 wins, 1 loss, going up against Boston Salmon. Boston Boom Boom Salmon, Hawaii zone, record of 6 wins, 2 losses. Last time we saw the Zohan, Randy Costa, it was his UFC debut where he lost to Brandon Davis, and this is a bantamweight bout, the rear naked choke and the beginning of the second round. Costa, I think his striking looked pretty solid. I think he was durable until he got his back taken. So this should be a striking match, as Boston Salmon, I believe, was a professional boxer or near that level.
He was definitely a high. I think he's Golden Gloves, if I remember right.
Yeah,
he was definitely a high.
Unfortunately for him, and I was hyped on his debut last April. He was knocked out in 25 seconds by Khalid Taha.
Crazy left hand in an exchange.
Yeah. As it goes in fighting, you can call certain things a fluke. I don't think shit like that's a fluke, at least not mixed martial arts.
Right. No, he just got clipped, and it was after 2 years off. So
I am leaning Boston Salmon. I feel like a loss like that's really going to light a fire under your ass, especially someone kind of coming out of Hawaii. I'm choosing Salmon. I don't know how the fuck he's... I guess you would say knockout, but it's bantamweight. I know Salmon does have knockout power. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go Salmon knockout round 2, just because Costa's tough as shit.
So I actually also have Salmon TKO in the second. I think Costa's going to look pretty good early. I think he's going to fade because he swings real wild.
Yeah.
And I just think Boston Salmon's probably going to start to pick him apart in exchanges and look better the later it goes. To be fair, Costa smashed the shit out of Brandon Davis for a lot of that fight, and up until he got caught with that rear naked choke in the second. He was just pounding on Brandon Davis, had him rocked multiple times. But Brandon Davis, just being a tough motherfucker, just kind of weathered the storm and was able to get on top. Boston Salmon, I think... there will definitely be some wild exchanges in the pocket. I just think he's going to have a little bit crisper boxing. And I think he'll probably land a little bit cleaner, especially as the rounds go on. So I'm leaning towards him TKO in the second. I would not be surprised, though, especially coming off of a 2-year layoff and then having a fight that went 25 seconds. Still kind of got to wonder how rusty Boston Salmon is as far as cage time. But I think it'll be a fun one either way. But yeah, I'm going Boston Salmon.
So as I'm trying my best not to fall asleep, and I will try not to, the odds here, you got Boston Salmon is a minus 152 to a plus 130 of Randy Costa.
Yeah.
Next fight we have.
About right.
Yeah. Next fight we have is a men's featherweight bout between Boston's own Kyle Bochniak going up against Sean the Sniper Woodson.
Yep.
Last time we saw Bochniak, he's had 2 tough losses, both to decision. One with Zabit Magomed Sharipov, which he really showed his grit and toughness. That dude, yeah, he's a fucking shit-eating wild man. And then also to Hakeem Dawodu, to which some could argue he won the fight, I believe, hence the split decision. The sniper is Sean Woodson. This is his UFC formal debut. Last time we saw him, he knocked out Terrence McKinney on the Contender Series last July 23rd via flying knee.
Yep.
I don't think he's knocking out Bochniak. Is it possible? Sure, but Bochniak's tough as shit.
Yep.
And I haven't seen enough tape on Sean Woodson to determine. What do you think? Do you remember Woodson on Contender Series? I mean, you can't really go off much on a flying knee in the first.
Yeah.
In a minute.
It was in the second, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it looks like it was.
Oh, you're right.
Second.
Thank you.
The problem I have with taking Woodson in this is he got stuck in the clinch pretty clearly and didn't have much of an answer to get out of it.
That's where Bochniak likes to work too, and he likes to pressure, keep you up against the fence. He looked really good against Zabit for a bit.
Yeah,
in that fight.
And Woodson's definitely bigger. He has quite a bit. He has a 5-inch. No, sorry, he has a 7-inch height advantage and a 9-inch reach advantage, which is fucking
79. Holy shit!
Well, he's
no wonder why they call him the sniper.
At 145, right?
Yeah, no wonder why they call him the fucking sniper. That's crazy.
He's huge.
He's got heavyweight reach. Yeah.
Absolutely, he's huge. The problem is, he's got the same reach as he's got longer reach than Chris Weidman, and Dominick Reyes, which is fucking crazy. Shouts out to Matthew Gerwin in chat. That might be your buddy.
What's up, Matt? Yeah, good.
Good to see you dropping by, bruh.
Former co-worker.
That's what's up.
Glad he's stopping by. Hell yeah.
The problem I have with this, though, is Sean Woodson, he's really good at stopping. He has a really solid sprawl, but he seems to have a problem with chain takedown attempts. Like, he can stop the first sprawl, but then continuing to stop the succession after that is he kind of has trouble with, and he ends up getting caught on the back foot. That and being that big, I don't know that he's going to be able to keep Kyle Bochniak's pace over 3 rounds, because Kyle Bochniak will 100% push a pace, and all the feints will help draw out some of the big long shots of Woodson as well. So I'm leaning Bochniak probably via decision. I just think his calf kicks and his wrestling advantage is going to be a big problem for Woodson over the 3 rounds. So I think Kyle probably takes 2 of it. First round could get interesting, though.
Yeah.
If Kyle just cannot find a way inside, this shit can get ugly pretty quick. But I like him.
I like him as well. And I guess I'm going decision. I'll give the Woodson the benefit of the doubt that he's scrappy and tough.
Yeah. And he's definitely a gamer. Like, he just seems a little young in his career, and I think this is a rough style matchup. Yeah,
you don't really ever want to be in the clinch with someone like Bochniak, who's kind of just willing to even just keep his hands down. Not sure how long that'll last, but either way, it's kind of working. Oh, and the odds are pretty much dead even. Minus 111 or minus 191. Yeah, they're pretty much even.
That doesn't surprise me. It's the size difference and the fact that Bochniak's been out for almost a year. It looks like 10 months. So definitely, it's something to keep an eye on. But Bochniak's pace in wrestling, I think, is gonna be a problem.
This next fight we have
is a one-sided shit kicking. This is bad matchmaking.
I'll let you take it away. We got Molly.
Yeah, we got Molly Meatball McCann, who's 9-2, fighting someone who, if you Google their name, the first result is Instagram. So we'll just say she's very marketable. Boy, I don't have any.
Well, I need to look at it for science. I need
Yeah,
to see her marketability
go ahead
rating.
and look up her marketability while I talk about how I have nothing nice to say about her game. She throws kicks, but all of them are super naked. She has an okay tie clinch. She just can't maintain it. She runs forward a lot with her hands down. And by runs, I mean like sprints forward with her arms out.
Oh, her account is private.
Oh, is it really?
Marketability rating is pretty low.
Really? I find that interesting. I would not
Except,
have guessed that.
however, I have an idea.
Nope, you're looking at the wrong one. If you click the Instagram,
No, this is.
Nope, if you click the Instagram icon on her Tapology page.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at one right now. It says her name. It's verified. And
Is
it says
it Bebe
@RX
Princess?
This might be her fighting page.
It's probably her. You're probably on. Yeah, you're on her private one.
Okay.
Because her other one is not private, and actually, you know what? It's not as much of a thirst trap as I thought it was going to be.
My point is, when you click on certain people's accounts, it'll also say suggested for you.
Yep.
All of these are thirst traps, 100%.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like holy shit. And it's all like these. I don't know where's this chick from, like Macedonia, or I don't know what that flag is. Somewhere. Romania. What the fuck? Some of these are so. Like, I get it, but it's like, some of these are just like. Okay, I don't even want to click on that video. What the fuck is going on? Okay.
Anyway.
I'm getting off this.
Yeah, it's fucking very questionable matchmaking. It's some goddamn Rich Chow ass. We're gonna get a pretty girl in there to get beat up by someone likable. So I don't know. Maybe she armbars Molly McCann because I think that's the only way she wins. But I don't.
So are you saying so? This chick is basically a can?
Oh wait, actually, she has a couple early arm bars in her career. Well, I just have nothing good to say about her striking, and I think Molly McCann puts her away if that's any kind of indicator as to where I think her striking's at.
So if she was a can, you're telling me she's Chef Boyardee with meatballs, or is that after she loses to Molly McCann?
Chris, I don't want to hear about how you want to give her your Chef Boyardee with meatballs.
You got me.
Yeah. Anyway,
No, see, it's just me. I like to make shitty fucking jokes sometimes because when I'm not being very deprecating or dark humor, you gotta bring in the cringe a little bit. I'm not gonna go on Huda's level.
I was gonna say you gotta try and fight her next.
Right? No one wants it. You know what's the funny coincidence? It's him. Anyone who's basically with Ali. So Henry's really cringy. So is Marty, and so is Kelvin. Kelvin does it on purpose. Well, I guess Henry. I don't know. Kelvin does it once in a blue moon, but either way, it's just like.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get to the odds.
So I'm guessing you have McCann. Do you have a method?
I'm just going to do whatever you said, to be honest. I
mean, to be fair, it might be a TKO in the first. I just think Molly McCann's going to come in and just throw giant murder hooks at her head the entire... Or as I should say, she'll throw giant meat hooks at her head over and over again. Yeah, she'll eat every one of them. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, the odds... and yeah, here they are.
They're probably not wide enough.
Minus. Yeah, no, they're not. Minus 588 to a plus 418. Could be wide.
I would put it at like 7 plus.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous matchmaking.
Let me see. Did I queue up the next one? I did.
Speaking of ridiculous shit.
So is this at featherweight or at bantamweight or at catchweight?
It is technically at flyweight because it's at a catchweight of 148 because that's what Manny Bermudez weighed in at.
You mean featherweight? You just confused me.
No, well, technically it can't be at featherweight because he's over featherweight.
No, but you said it's technically it's at flyweight. I
meant lightweight. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, how the fuck?
No,
are you telling me he blew like 23 pounds? Like,
I was reading Molly McCann's. Wait, right below it.
What would happen, by the way, if someone blew by 23? Is it the same as if you blow by like 5 or 10?
Well, Mayhem Miller, formerly mentioned on the
I remember that.
He missed by 20 plus pounds in Venator over in Italy, so they made him fight like a 205er.
Clearly eating too much good Italian food.
Actually, might have fought a heavyweight. Yeah, it didn't go well. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Manny
shouts out to anyone cutting weight. Don't eat food with a lot of carbs.
Well, I'm glad you gave him this PSA, Chris. I'm pretty sure they were going to go pasta load right before their fight, but
someone's like eating just like some fucking lasagna. Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
So this next, Manny Ramirez, who didn't make weight at all, is going up against
10 pounds and he blew weight. That's that's generally only relegated to female MMA that happens.
He must be hanging out with Johnny Hendricks at McDonald's or something. I don't know. How do you do that? Look. How do you go? Oh well, I'm already bad at cutting weight. Let me go up a weight class.
Unless he's injured, there's really no excuse.
Yeah.
But he's from Massachusetts.
Like an illness. But then again, if you have, depending on the illness, you probably lose weight.
I meant more like a knee problem. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because with your knee, you're fucked. You're not going to be able to run. You can maybe swim, but even then.
Yeah, basically anything, ribs, anything that keeps you from doing cardio.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, well.
So he's going up against, he's going up against Rosa. Boston Strong, Charles Rosa. I don't fucking know how to take this.
I do. I'm taking the dude who's way overweight and who I was going to go with anyway, because Charles Rosa's striking is very wild. And I just, man, it's, unless Manny Bermudez gasses ultra fucking hard after one round, I don't see him winning this fight. Yeah. I think Manny just probably wins 2 rounds and then just survives the third.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just.
Yeah. I think Manny's just going to have the sharper kickboxing from the outside. And if it does go to the ground, I think from everything we've seen, unless the size difference just shuts down a big portion of his game, I would assume he's going to have a pretty definitive grappling advantage. And I would not be surprised to see a guillotine or triangle attempts. Because at some point, Charles Rosa, I would imagine, has to get desperate and start going for takedowns. Because he just is so wild on the feet. So that's how I'm leaning, but not super confident.
The odds, let's see here. Bermudez is a minus 182 to plus 151. So take that as you will. Yeah. This next fight we have.
What method did you have on that last one?
I'm going to go whatever you did. I know it's lazy as fuck, but
super lazy. But Bermudez by decision is not a bad pick.
This next fight, I still can't believe how this guy blew weight. This is just how. Darren Wynn. Yeah, you're 5'5". I
think it's Deron Wynn.
Deron Wynn, thank you. Deron Wynn, you're 5'5", and you're trying to make a middleweight, and you blow weight. Like, please, your new nickname is Meatball. Because you look like a meatball. You're 5 foot. Like, how the fuck do you blow weight? Trying to go to 1. You're 5'5". Like, I know everyone's got different genetic makeup and the way your muscles to your fat ratio, but it's just like, still, dude. Like, what the fuck? You're 5'5".
Yeah, I mean,
you should be a fucking flyweight.
To be fair.
Well, he's a wrestler, so he should be a featherweight. This dude should be fine, and he shouldn't be because he's still massively outside. This guy should be a bantamweight, bantamweight or flyweight.
No, yeah, Adam Wait or die. I agree.
No, I'm talking about just based on his height and
based
if he's
on
a wrestler.
Height, he should probably be a 55er. He's a very wide dude.
Yeah. So, but okay, you're fighting someone who's 6 foot and a lot bigger than you.
Yeah,
Darren the Dentist Stewart.
He is kind of the Brianna Van Buren of this division. They're both from AKA, if I remember right, but. Man.
Oh, both these guys are? I know.
Sorry. Deron Wynn and Brianna Van Buren, who is
That's right.
She's the one who won the Invicta Phoenix Rising series, the first one. And looked like just a tank recently. And Deron Wynn's he is a bad motherfucker when it comes to the grappling, which it's going to be interesting. I don't know what to make of this matchup against Darren Stewart, though. It all comes down to, can Darren Stewart stop takedowns and land shots?
Yeah, I'm just instinctively going to go Win via WrestleFuck.
Yep.
Just because of his camp, and he's grappling with the best grapplers out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Besides them and ATT, but yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way.
I don't know how his chin is. I mean, this is one of those where, if I'm Darren Stewart, I'm just really going for crazy uppercuts for a very, very much shorter opponent.
His chin's real good, though.
Yeah.
Like, he looked real good against Tom Lawler. Drummond looked real good against, he just shit-kicked Eric Spicely for most of that fight. Eric Spicely did figure out... So, Eric Spicely did figure out in that fight that he was just smashing him with knees in the clinch. However, Darren Stewart, not a dude who I think would go to the clinch that often, especially in this matchup, where that's going to just engage him in a bunch of grappling exchanges that I don't think Darren Stewart wants anything to do with. So yeah, I'm taking Duran. However, Darren Stewart hits fucking hard, and he is trouble for a lot of dudes. So while I am taking Duran, I'm not crazy confident about it.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, there's like half and half. I guess 50-50 confidence, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'll just go grindy wrestling, putting Stewart on his butt the whole time. The odds here, win is a -122 to +102. This next fight is an important fight. Two highly touted prospects in the women's flyweight division. You got Macy, the future barber, as Jack Slack says, you better keep winning because then you can't have that nickname anymore. Macy Barber, who's only, I think, 20 or 21. She's 21, which is still crazy.
Yeah.
Going to be against Jillian Robertson, the Savage, who's also only 24. Both very, very talented.
Yep.
Macy Barber, I imagine, is the favorite in this, but I don't know by a lot, by slight.
I'm sure, because she is definitely getting the promotional push.
Yeah. She's 7-0. Last time we saw her was against J.J. Aldrich last March 23rd. She won via brutal knee and punches in the middle of the second round. However, someone made a good point, and I apologize, I don't remember this podcast. J.J. Aldrich trains with, I always forget the name of their fucking camp. Trevor Whitman. Yeah.
Team Elevation.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje, those guys. She has great boxing. Who the fuck was this? Maybe it must have been Heavy Hands. I think it was Jack Slack. He was saying that Barber was struggling against good boxing in the stand-up.
You mean Macy Baba, as he calls her?
Oh, yeah. Macy Baba. Jillian Robertson, so how the fuck is her stand-up striking again? At least her boxing, because that's really what this comes down to.
It's pretty green.
Oh, shit.
So this is going to 100% come down to, can Macy Barber get the takedown and get the back? Which she's very good at doing. Can Jillian Robertson get the takedown? Yeah,
her last two finishes, one was rear naked choke against Veronica Macedo, the other was elbows from Mount against Sarah Frota. Sarah Frota, who I believe just popped for roids.
She popped for something, for sure.
Yeah.
And then she had the win over Molly McCann, also back in the day, doing the same thing, just surviving, getting the takedown, getting her back. She's really goddamn good at it. So a lot of this comes down to, I think, can Macy Barber stop takedowns in the first round? If she can, she's definitely going to have a size advantage, I would assume, by quite a bit. Because Jillian Robertson's 5'2".
Oh.
Macy Barber's definitely bigger than that.
Yeah, 5'5", I believe.
Yeah, and she's got a little bit of a reach advantage.
I think I'm going to lean towards Barber, especially if she gets mount. But if she gets full mount, it's definitely trouble for Robertson.
I mean, if Robertson ends up on bottom at all, it's trouble for her.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to go Barber. I think I want to pick decision, but Barber's looks so dominant, I got to go finish in the second round. I'm going to go TKO. As much as I do like Robertson as well.
Well, Judo Bill will be happy to hear that, since he has his whole bankroll on Macy Barber to finish.
Okay.
And I'm about to be... So, I don't know... So, here's the thing. I'm going to take Jillian Robertson via RNC in the first round. However, I don't know if just because I don't like Macy Barber and I do like Jillian Robertson quite a bit, I don't know if I'm super biased or if it's just that we haven't really seen Macy Barber fight anybody that's just absolutely trying to, at least not in the UFC, anybody that's just trying to take her down over and over. I guess you could say Hannah Cyphers, you could count as a grappler. but Hannah Cifers is way smaller. Hannah Cifers is smaller than Jillian Robertson. She's 5'1", and considerably less able to hang in there against bigger women. So, yeah, I'm taking Jillian Robertson via sub in the first, but I don't feel great about it. And I could easily see Macy Barber just pot-shotting her from the outside and finishing with the lead high kick like she likes to do. Macy Barber does seem to lean back every time she throws the high kick, like as a tell, not just like as part of the, like she'll lean back first and then fade away with it. And she does that pretty consistently. That's how JJ Aldrich is able to every time step through and blast her with the left hand. And Robertson doesn't have terrible stand-up, and you gotta imagine dudes like Dean Thomas, who are working with her closely, are going to find a lot of tells in Macy's game, because there are quite a bit. But I just think, yeah, Macy Barber's size is going to be a big factor in this as well. So I'm taking Robertson, but not confident in the least.
I like it, though. And especially, you said Dean Thomas. I didn't realize Robertson's at ATT, so that's very telling.
That's a big part of why I'm leaning. Like, Dean Thomas, I feel like Dean Thomas can absolutely game plan someone to beat Macy Barber.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. Macy Barber is a minus 154 to a plus 130 of Jillian Robertson. This next fight, I believe this is his last fight ever. I don't know if he's retiring.
Oh,
I can't remember if it's someone else. Joe Lozon. I think he's retiring. I can't remember.
I mean, we can hope. And
Yeah.
Joe Lozon's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but man, is it not fun to watch him anymore.
Yeah. Shouts out to Tough Season 5.
Exactly.
He's going up against some guy, Jonathan Pierce, whose nickname evidently is JSP. I hope you fight like GSP. Contender Series. He defeated Jacob Rosales last July with a right cross at the middle of the third round. Yeah, I don't... The fuck? It looks like he's stomping on someone in this photo. So that's interesting.
It looks like a leg kick at a weird angle while someone's on their back.
Yeah.
That's a weird
I imagine I got to go with JSP.
Yeah.
Because Joe Lozon lost to Stevie Ray Vaughan. He lost to Clay Guida. Oh, he lost to Chris Gritzmark. Okay, yeah. I'm definitely going this guy. Sorry, Joe. Jonathan Pierce it is. Decision? Joe's still tough? I don't know. I don't know much about this Jonathan Pierce guy.
Yeah. Jonathan Pierce has a couple stoppages by strikes in a row. So I'm going to take him via TKO in the first.
Okay.
Doesn't feel good, but
the odds on this, Jonathan Pierce is a minus 200 to a plus 166 favorite.
That doesn't seem wide enough.
No.
Then again, I've watched like the Contender Series fight of him, and that's it. So maybe people are seeing something I'm not.
This brings us to our co-main event of the evening, which is actually a sequel fight.
That's right, it does, because there's no other fight between Joe Lozon and Yair Rodriguez.
Oh, you didn't even have to mention that. What are you talking about? We're at the co-main event now.
That's what I'm
saying. So anyone who's confused, don't be, because we're right on schedule.
That's right.
This fight, I think we both picked Stevens, right? Initially? I'm picking him again.
If I was to guess, did we pick the guy out of Alliance who is a well-known San Diego?
I'll say this right now. It's a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
So if Yair keeps his distance and point fights and just does a bunch of safe stuff, I mean, he can maybe do some crazy Taekwondo shit like a spinning, which he's known to do. I don't think Jeremy Stevens is the type of guy that's going to be trying to high-five or hug him in between rounds. That's definitely not happening.
No.
If Yair even attempts that shit, he's going night-night.
Yeah.
I still got Steve. If it's 5 rounds, I'm definitely going Steve. Well, no, I'm still going Stevens. He's fucking pissed. I think he's gonna knock his head off. And if he doesn't, I don't think Stevens is gonna get knocked out. I think he's just gonna. I don't know about his liver. Maybe some crazy fucking spinning shit. The liver could finish Stevens, but other than that, no. I like Stevens 100% in this fight. I think he's actually going to knock out Yair. He's going to catch him with some crazy shit. Yeah, I got Stevens. I got knockout round 2.
I have the
But
exact
if Yair
same
wins,
thing.
I'm not surprised either. Because Stevens is going to be a little too wild. Look at this Zabit fight. Zabit is similar to Yair, and he's a very good kicker. I know that's not a
He's
real
also,
technical term.
Zabit's much better at circling off the cage, though. And Zabit has the wrestling to back up a lot of Jeremy Stevens' forward offense, or to kind of give it problems. I don't think Yair does. I think a lot of this comes down to how badly does Yair eat calf kicks versus how much does Jeremy Stevens lunge in with giant shots aimed at Yair's head. If Jeremy Stevens does not work behind a jab and leg kick and a calf kick, I think he is in fucking trouble in this fight. Like, if he just tries to march forward and throw giant hooks, while I will think he will catch Yair pretty consistently, he could easily walk onto something as well. But yeah, I got Jeremy Stevens to break him down with calf kicks and smash him in the face in the second round, probably off of an exchange. Because Yair Rodriguez, I think it was Vivisection pointed out, Yair Rodriguez gets hit almost every time he throws a punch. Hey, Shawnee Podcast dropping by in chat. Good to see you. But yeah, it's hard not to take Jeremy Stevens in this. I'm also just not sold on Yair, really at all.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting pieced the fuck up by Zombie, and then
he lost 14 minutes, or no, more than that, 24 minutes and 59 seconds of that fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Yair does unless he just circles and pot shots from range for 3 rounds, which I don't think he's going to be able to do effectively and not at least drop one of those. Just because Jeremy Stevens, just walking forward enough and knowing judging in MMA, I would assume Jeremy Stevens could easily win a round just off of cage control if not a lot happens.
If Stevens feels hurt or threatened, I think he just goes for the takedown. He just kind of implements what Frankie did.
I would assume so. It's a little scary against Yair because he's decent off his back. But a lot of people have shut down his game off of his back. I mean, last sub he got was Humberto Brown, which was a wild.
I'll just say this. If Stevens does win, and it's by like brutal knockout, my post fight, I'd be like, sorry, Yair, you're just gonna have to live with that with the rest of your life, or whatever the fuck Yair said, and just kind of flip it on him. But that's what I would do. I'm
just rooting for Stevens to immediately either eye poke or dick kick Yair, and then tell him to just get over it and fight on. Because really, I mean, if we're gonna go Dondasso, we got to go full Dondasso. So.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? If you really want to confuse him, you should just fucking oil check him. That'd be interesting. That would really make the fight interesting.
I mean, that's it's definitely more aggressive. That would definitely be that.
Dirty tactics, literally, but you know.
I mean, yeah, it's unclean tactics is how I would refer to it.
Yeah. Anyways. Wow, these odds are interesting.
I'm not surprised that he's a big favorite because he has the hype. He has promotion behind him big time.
Oh, that's right. Let's cut him and then never mind. He's a -132 to a +107.
It doesn't surprise me. I think that's pretty close to the closing odds last time, if I remember right.
And just remember, according to Yair, Jeremy is so scared to fight me that he literally took the fight again to fight me in 2 weeks. He's that scared of me. So checks out. Anyways, this brings us to the main event of the evening, which is going to one of 2 ways. We get former middleweight champion Chris Weidman, the All-American, moving up to 205 to fight undefeated. I mean, he's not a prospect anymore. It's a fucking light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Undefeated contender, Dominick Reyes, the Devastator. So this is either going to go in the way that Chris Weidman Russell fucks and drains out Dominick's questionable cardio. And I say questionable if you watch the Vulcan fight. He's gassing pretty hard, and that's a fight I think Vulcan won. I think a lot of people think Vulcan won that fight.
Yeah. It was competitive, though, either way.
It was very competitive. Reyes is it's weird. He's a prospect, but he's not, because we still haven't really seen what he can do, in my opinion. He's 29. He's tall. He's got decent boxing. It either goes the way of he gets Weidman up against the fence and knocks him the fuck out early, if Weidman just says, I can stand him. Weidman's striking has been getting a lot better. I'll credit him to that. He was piecing up Jacare real good. But if Weidman really just wants to just put a stamp on this, just wrestle, just engage immediately, just make an example that you can just use all your skills that you're good at. You came into this fight game as a wrestler. You have the All-American, fucking pedigree. Use that shit. That's how he beat Silva for the most part. Just grinded him out.
Wait, which Silva?
Anderson, at least before he knocked him out.
Which
in the first fight.
I was gonna say, both those fights mostly took place on the feet.
That is true. It was kind of more mat returns, huh? I mean, he did have some good ground and pound. I think it was more in the second fight. He immediately took him to the ground, did ground and pound, and then he checked the leg kick.
Yeah.
My point is, against dangerous strikers, just use your wrestling. Use your best.
And he's without a doubt the better wrestler out of the two on paper.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that makes me nervous, though, is he is going to have a significant size disadvantage, and that doesn't make the wrestling any easier on him. But, I mean, dudes like Volkan taking down Dominick Reyes also kind of... It's one of those things where it's hard to put too much weight behind it because nobody's expecting Volkan to shoot a double leg or a single or anything. So if Volkan does go for a takedown, I don't blame someone for being caught off guard by it in the least. I just don't have faith in Chris Weidman to look sharp enough at 205 in his first fight there. This is very fucking rough matchmaking. This is not quite James Vick versus Nico Price-esque, but it's not. They're not doing Chris Weidman any fucking favors in this matchup. And Matt Serra said everything right. It sounds like the game plan, I think Aljo even mentioned on his podcast Weekly Scraps as well, that he's clearly looking to work the wrestling in this, and I think that's his clear advantage. I just wonder, with the move up, how his cardio is going to look. Sometimes people's cardio look better when they move up. Sometimes it takes them a couple fights to kind of get their cardio in check at that weight. Like Kevin Lee is a great example. Conor McGregor when he moved up. Not that he ever had great cardio necessarily, but it certainly wasn't terrific in the first Nate fight.
It looks better, to be fair, against Habib. Like, as far as that beating he took, he still kind of had some gas left before he got submitted.
True. He didn't have a chance to gas himself out from throwing strikes, though, either.
That's true.
I don't know. It's a hard out for Chris Weidman. Another thing to keep an eye on, though, Dominick Reyes has never been in a 5-round fight.
That's a good point.
So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. Chris Weidman hasn't seen a lot of 5-rounders, though, either. I guess Lyoto Machida is pretty much it. Because the Damian Maia fight was only 3, right? Yeah, so it's literally... He saw the 4th round against Luke Rockhold, and he saw all 5 against Lyoto.
I'm recording.
So...
It's all good.
It'll be interesting to see what both of them look like if it does hit the 3rd round, but... I gotta lean Reyes via TKO.
Oh, I have him. I like Chris a lot, and I still think he has some left in the tank. I really do believe that. It's just he has to just really change his game plan of how he want to mixes up the striking and wrestling. My pick is Reyes via TKO. Like, I think, would you say 3rd? I'll say 2nd.
I was gonna say 2nd. Yeah,
but. I'm also 50-50 and I could choose Weidman, but that's only if he literally just starts going to the wrestling immediately and just grinds him the fuck out. And Weidman still has decent top mount. His ground and pound's not bad.
It's really solid.
He can get the finish. I mean, I don't expect it, but if Chris Weidman gets a TKO finish, that's sending a message, I would think. It's like, okay, I'm doing what Luke Rockhold probably should have done going up to 205. But then again, Luke Rockhold doesn't keep his fucking chin down.
True.
So, and I don't even think he's coming back. He just said the other day, I think I'm done.
That's what it sounds like.
The dude makes plenty. If I'm him, I would retire. Dude, you make plenty of money, modeling. Why the fuck would you take more brain damage? At that point, I feel like it's just night and day, kind of decision making. But what are you going to do? Then again, some people are drawn to just want to keep fighting, and all the props to them, right? You want to keep doing what you like. But
jeez.
I'd rather make easier money and not get hit in the head. That's just me.
I just in general rather not get hit in the head. Crazy.
I mean, no one likes to get hit in the head.
Man, I would like to see Chris Weidman get this win. I wish he would have gotten a more, like, not as rough a style matchup for his move up. I feel like it's a big goddamn step up in competition when you're moving sizes like that.
If you're matchmaker, if Weidman wins, who do you put him up against? I don't even really remember what 205's like.
100% whoever wins gets the title shot, and whoever doesn't win.
Fuck.
I mean that's why they have. I would bet a lot of money that's how this is going to go, because that's why they haven't. Who else are they going to announce first off? And if they had anybody else, they would have.
The winner of Walker and Anderson.
They really don't want to give Corey Anderson a title fight.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think he's winning that fight, but this is me.
Fair.
Johnny Walker is a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
And has literally been training like at all the best gyms. He's been like on a tour.
Yeah.
So I'm very confident that guy's like, can he lose? Yeah, we'll see. Like if any pure wrestler gets his hands on him, like I'm sure he. But then again, I don't know his takedown defense. Maybe he's like Adesanya and that it's like almost like a hidden secret. I mean, it's not hidden anymore. We know Adesanya has good takedown defense, but my point being that you get those very long, explosive fighters that aren't known for takedown defense. Maybe that's all they've been working on. So, anyways, the odds on this fight, Reyes is a -175 to a +145 of Weidman. Good luck to both fighters.
Should be a fun fight either way. So
yeah.
Should be a fun card, actually. A lot of these are, like I said, a lot of these seem like they're going to be one-sided steamrollings, but there are a couple that it could be a one-sided steamrolling one way or the other. It kind of just depends on who can start getting momentum behind them. So
yeah,
should be fun. Should be some action fights, I would think. So cool, man. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this here. What is next week? Do we know? Something.
Is there a fight?
I thought so.
I think we have. No, wait. No, there is a fight next week.
Maya versus Askren's next week.
Oh, wow. I mean, I wish I was more excited for that, if I'm honest. I'm really not.
Actually, to be fair, there's some fun fights on this card.
Okay.
Muslim Salyakov versus Staropoli. Random Marcos, Ashley Yoder is kind of fun.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So a lot of grapplers.
After that, there's some trouble. Frank Camacho, Benil Dariush could be fun.
Okay.
Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I'm less excited. I forgot Ian Heinisch, Brad Tavares fell off this.
Ah, damn. That's a shame.
Yeah. Oh, and it was supposed to be Yan Xiaonan versus Ashley Yoder. That's right. Interesting. I don't know. Anytime you get Ben Askren and Damian Maia on a fucking card together, I am super excited. I've been calling for that fight since he got signed, so I'm on board. But that should be a fun one next week. But in the meantime, as always, you guys can subscribe on YouTube. It helps us out. Also, if you hit the bell, it'll tell you when we go live, because our live recording schedule is different every goddamn week, every damn night. And you guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, any of the podcasts we talk about, there should be a link in the description depending on how garbage your podcast player is. If your podcast player is hot trash, there's a link to our website where we have links to all the shows we discussed. And send us, as always, send us your suggestions for podcasts we're sleeping on, because there's always new ones. Every single time I go on Twitter, I feel like I find a new podcast, so we absolutely appreciate it. But Chris, anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Not at the moment.
Cool.
But, and just everyone have a good weekend. That's what I'll shout out.
Sounds good. So we will be back next week, and then the week after that, I can start drinking again. So I'm pretty goddamn excited. So we will be back then, and until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Hey.
Liked by the sound of violence.